Now you need to imagine, walk into this room with me. As we walk in the door, the first passageway is not wide enough for two people to walk into, and the room is kind of P-shaped, if you would, and we're walking up the stem of the P, and as soon as it starts opening up and you think you may have a little more room, there's a big shelf there, and this is a closet. Lining these two walls are 6 chairs, and when you sit down, your knees touch. And I'm sitting across from this gentleman who is looking at a lifetime in prison, and he's sitting next to the young man that we're there to visit, that the warden has asked us to come in and visit. He had a real heart for this young man, 26 years of age, and the reality is he was raised in the family business. At 26 years old, he was going to spend the rest of his life in prison. The warden has asked, will you talk to this young man? Will you help him understand that he is going to need supernatural spiritual help? Now the young man sits down with us. We're literally knee to knee, friends, with some very large men. But the young man we were visiting is kind of slight. You could tell when he sat in that room with us, his tank was empty. My friend shared with this young man, you know what? God loves you. That's why he's disciplining you. Be thankful you're still alive. If you were still out in that life of crime, you may not live very long. The young man suddenly paused, and there was an interesting transition in the look on his face. He looked at all of us and he said, you know what? I came into this meeting trying to learn how to beat the system. He said, I'm understanding that's not why I'm in here with all of you. I need to admit that what I did was wrong. I need to admit that I injured people. And I need to admit that there maybe is something here that God has for me. He made a shift in that time from trying to beat the system, from trying to blame, from trying to get out, to understanding that he was in God's hand and God's hand was active in what was happening in his life. In that broom closet was the beginning of the change of that young man's soul. Will you pray for him with me? All I can tell you, he's a young man now having been sentenced to life in prison in Hawaii. Pray, continue to partner, continue to give, to build the church inside the walls of America's prisons, connected to the church outside the walls of America's prisons, and bring true restoration to communities across our country.